If you are a woman navigating the profound journey of life beyond the age of 60, I want to share something with you that might just fundamentally change the way you think about hydration and your most intimate health. Every single day, women just like you are quietly and often silently struggling with physical discomfort during intimacy, a perceptibly fading desire, or that deeply unsettling sense that something vital and essential has gone missing from their lives. You may have chalked it up to the inevitable process of aging, but what if one of the simplest, most fundamental things in your daily life, the act of drinking water, was playing a far bigger and more influential role than you ever could have imagined? My name is DrLilyStones. For over 3 decades, I have had the distinct privilege and honor of helping women navigate the many intricate and beautiful changes that come with age. And I can tell you with unwavering confidence that age itself is not your enemy. However, the small, seemingly insignificant habits that we tend to overlook, those are very often the culprits. One of the most overlooked and profoundly underestimated tools for improving healthy blood flow, supporting delicate hormonal balance, and enhancing vaginal comfort is as wonderfully simple as it gets: water. Yes, plain everyday water, and how you use it matters far more than you might think. So, if you have been wondering why your desire feels distant, why intimacy is no longer as comfortable as it once was, or why your energy feels perpetually drained even after a good night's rest, I warmly invite you to stay with me. Because what I am about to share with you could help you to reconnect with the comfort, the confidence, and the vibrant vitality that never truly had to leave you in the first place. Before we dive in, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe to Elderwear Wellness so you never miss a science-backed, heart-forward conversation that is made just for women like you. And if this message resonates with you, please feel free to leave a comment below. You can type a 1 if this is helpful, or a 0 if it is not, so that we can continue to support you with even better and more relevant content. Let's begin with the foundational element where it all starts: your circulation. Circulation is so much more than a mere medical term. It is the very lifeline that exists behind how your body is able to respond to intimacy. The state of arousal is not just about feelings or emotional attraction. It is a deeply physical response that is entirely driven by the flow of your blood. And your blood, at its very core, is composed mostly of water. When you are not properly and consistently hydrated, your blood literally becomes thicker and more sluggish. Consequently, your heart has to work significantly harder to push it through your entire circulatory system. And unfortunately, that means it becomes much more difficult for that precious blood to reach your pelvic area, where it is needed most for the body's processes of natural lubrication and heightened sensation. One of my dear patients, Joyce, a 68-year-old retired school teacher, once came to me feeling utterly frustrated. "It's just not comfortable anymore," she said quietly, her voice tinged with a sense of resignation. Like a great many women, she had simply assumed that this change was an unavoidable and non-negotiable part of getting older. But after a gentle and compassionate conversation, I asked her something that most people, including many doctors, never think to ask: "Joyce, how much water are you actually drinking each day?" Her response was telling. "Not much. Maybe some coffee in the morning and an iced tea with my lunch." Joyce's story is not at all rare. Many women, particularly in the years past menopause, tend to overlook the critical importance of hydration. Not out of any sense of neglect, but simply because no one ever took the time to explain its profound and direct importance. But once Joyce began the simple practice of taking small, consistent sips of water throughout her day, something truly remarkable began to happen. 2 weeks later, she returned to my office with a soft, genuine smile. "I don't know what's different," she told me, "but something's working again." She had not started a new supplement. She had not changed any of her medications. The only significant shift in her routine was water. Proper hydration directly and powerfully supports healthy circulation, especially to the pelvic area, and dramatically improves the body's natural ability to respond to intimacy. According to the Cleveland Clinic, Even a state of mild dehydration can significantly reduce your overall blood volume and limit your vascular response, both of which are absolutely essential for healthy arousal and natural lubrication. So, before you rush to blame your hormones or your age, please ask yourself this one simple question: am I truly and consistently hydrated? Sometimes, the most powerful and effective solution is not found in a pill or a cream. It is waiting for you in your glass. But the benefits of hydration are not just about blood flow. It also plays a crucial and often unacknowledged role in regulating your hormones. And this is something that a great many women are never told. One of my other patients, Brenda, aged 72, came to see me with a different but related concern. "I'm just not myself anymore," she admitted, a look of confusion on her face. She was not sick, and she was not in any physical pain, but something fundamental felt off. She was perpetually tired, her mood was consistently flat, and her desire for intimacy had all but faded away. We ran her lab work, and while her estrogen levels were within the expected range for her age, they were still on the lower end. But what truly caught my attention was not the estrogen level itself, it was her overall hydration status. Brenda had been in a state of consistent, low-grade dehydration for years, not because she intentionally avoided water, but simply because she did not think it mattered all that much. Here is what science shows us. When your body is dehydrated, it intelligently goes into a state of conservation mode. That means it begins to prioritize only what is most essential for immediate survival, like keeping your blood pressure steady or regulating your core temperature. The production of hormones and the function of your libido, those important but non-essential for survival processes, get pushed to the back burner. To make matters even more complex, a state of dehydration triggers the release of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. And cortisol is well known to actively suppress the production of key sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone. It is like a biological seesaw. When cortisol goes up, your other crucial hormones tend to drop. Brenda did not need hormone replacement therapy. What her body was truly crying out for was proper hydration, done right. We developed a simple and sustainable plan for her, sipping water at regular intervals throughout the entire day. No chugging, no skipping. A month later, she walked into my office with a visibly brighter face, clearer eyes, and an energy that I had not seen in her for weeks. "I feel alive again," she told me, her voice filled with a renewed sense of hope. And that is the part of the story I want you to remember. Proper hydration is not about drinking more, it is about drinking with purpose. But how you drink your water matters almost as much as how much you drink. And that is where so many well-intentioned women unknowingly go wrong. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will talk about how to drink water the right way and the common daily habits that could be silently sabotaging your best efforts. Let's take a closer look at how to drink water in a way that truly and effectively supports your body, not just for your overall health, but specifically for your intimate well-being. It may sound surprising, but the vast majority of women drink water in ways that are less than ideal, especially after the age of 60. You may have been told for years to drink 8 glasses a day, but no one likely ever told you how or when to drink them. And believe it or not, the timing, the temperature, and the pacing of your water intake all matter a great deal. I remember a wonderful woman named Margaret, a 67-year-old retired librarian. When I explained to her that how she drank her water could be directly affecting her vaginal comfort and her overall vitality, she laughed and said, "Dr. Stones, it's just water. Should I say a prayer over it too?" I smiled and replied, "Not exactly, Margaret, but you do need to treat it with a certain level of respect." Most women wait until they feel the sensation of thirst, and then they grab a cold bottle of water and gulp it down in one go. While this might feel refreshing in the moment, your body does not work that way. Sudden and large floods of water can actually overwhelm your system, forcing your kidneys to flush it out quickly before your cells have had a chance to properly absorb it. Instead, your body prefers slow, steady, and consistent support. Think of it like watering a delicate plant. You would not dump an entire bucket of water on it all at once. You would nourish it gently and slowly, allowing the roots to absorb exactly what they need. The very same principle is true for your circulatory and hormonal systems. Slow, steady hydration throughout the day helps to keep your blood volume stable, supports clear hormone signaling, and ensures that vital oxygen and nutrients are able to reach the tissues that matter most, including the delicate and highly responsive ones in your pelvic region. Even the way you sit while you are drinking can make a significant difference. When you sit down and sip your water calmly, your nervous system has a chance to relax. This crucial shift from the fight or flight mode to the rest and digest mode improves both your digestion and your body's ability to absorb the water. Letting the water mix with your saliva in your mouth before swallowing also helps your body to process it more efficiently, a traditional Ayurvedic technique that is now being supported by modern findings in digestive science. She told me something truly beautiful, DrLilyStones, I feel more myself. I didn't even know I had lost that feeling until I got it back. It is not about drinking more water, it is about drinking smarter. But even the smartest and most consistent hydration habits can be quietly and completely undone by other daily routines. And that brings us to a few common missteps that many women make without ever realizing that they are interfering with their body's ability to absorb and benefit from the water they are drinking. One of my patients, Helen, aged 74, had been meticulously following every single hydration tip I had shared with her. She was diligent, she was consistent, and she was incredibly optimistic. But a few weeks into her new routine, she returned and said, I feel a little better, but not as much as I had hoped. So, we looked deeper into her daily habits, and there it was. Helen started her mornings with a strong cup of coffee. She had another cup in the mid-afternoon, and she enjoyed a glass of wine with her dinner most evenings. She also had a tendency to drink a large glass of water right after eating fruits like watermelon or oranges. Each of these things, while seemingly harmless on their own, were collectively working against her best hydration efforts. Caffeine and alcohol are well-known diuretics. According to the Mayo Clinic, they both increase your urine output, which actively pulls water out of your body and can lead to a state of mild, chronic dehydration over time. That means you may be losing more fluid than you are taking in, even if you are diligently sipping water on a regular basis. As for drinking water immediately after eating water-rich fruits, it may seem like a good and healthy idea, but it can actually dilute your natural digestive enzymes. This can slow down the absorption of nutrients and can lead to uncomfortable bloating or indigestion, both of which affect how well your body is able to utilize the water you consume. And then there is the issue of overhydration. Yes, even too much of a good thing can backfire. Drinking excessive amounts of water in a very short period of time can actually flush out key minerals from your system, such as magnesium, sodium, and potassium. These are electrolytes that are absolutely vital for healthy muscle function, for clear nerve signaling, and even for arousal. Low magnesium levels, for instance, have been directly linked to increased stress levels and a decreased libido, especially in older women. Once Helen made a few of these small but significant tweaks, cutting back on her caffeine intake, spacing out her water consumption more evenly, and avoiding unnecessary water right after eating fruit, she noticed a dramatic and positive change. Now I feel it, she told me, a newfound sense of excitement in her voice. It's like my body is finally working with me, not against me. These are not just theories. They are principles that are supported by years of my own clinical experience and a wealth of scientific research. But what is even more exciting is what happens next when your hydration strategy finally clicks into place. When your body begins to receive the water it needs, in the right way, and at the right time, things begin to shift on a profound level. It is not just about how you feel physically, but about how you show up emotionally and intimately. It is truly like the lights turn back on inside of you. That is exactly what happened with Carol, a 70-year-old woman who had long ago accepted that her intimate life was simply done. Her husband had always been kind and understanding, but he finally asked her gently one day, "Are you okay? You haven't seemed like yourself lately." That single, caring question stuck with her. she came in to see me and asked for help. Not just with intimacy, but with the desire to feel like herself again. Together, we reviewed her daily habits, and the theme of hydration came up again and again. She was not drinking enough water. She was constantly rushing through her day, chugging water here and there, and never giving her body the steady and consistent support that it so desperately needed. So, she committed to a new plan. No supplements, no hormone therapy, just intentional, mindful hydration that was spaced evenly throughout her day, paired with a few small but significant behavioral changes. 6 weeks later, Carol reported a series of noticeable and wonderful improvements. Her energy had returned. Her skin looked clearer and more radiant. Her blood pressure had stabilized. But most of all, the experience of intimacy felt comfortable again. Her body's natural lubrication had returned. Her arousal response was quicker and more reliable, and she felt emotionally connected again, not just to her partner, but most importantly, to herself. That is the part of the story that I never tire of hearing. Not just, I feel better, but I feel like me again. These outcomes are not merely anecdotal. They are entirely consistent with what the body of scientific research shows. Studies from esteemed institutions like the National Institutes of Health confirm that proper and consistent hydration supports a healthy blood volume, robust vascular function, the health of our mucous membranes, and even our cognitive and emotional well-being. All of these intricate systems are deeply interconnected, and they all contribute to how you feel in your own body, including during your moments of closeness and connection. But hydration alone is not the full story. Because as we age, even our best and most consistent habits need a little bit of extra support. Your body's natural rhythms shift, your ability to recover from stress slows down, and your entire system requires a bit more attention to maintain its delicate balance. In Part 3, we will explore why hydration becomes even more essential after the age of 60, and how you can effectively pair it with one small morning habit that can help to reawaken your natural energy, your sensuality, and your inner spark in just 7 seconds a day. After the age of 60, your body becomes far more sensitive to the things it used to be able to handle without much conscious effort. Hydration is no exception. You might have noticed that a single poor night's sleep now affects you more deeply, or that skipping a meal leaves you feeling more drained than it used to. The truth is, your body is not weaker. It is simply more selective. The margin for error in our daily habits narrows, and what used to be optional now becomes absolutely essential. That is precisely why water, the most basic and often overlooked nutrient, plays a much bigger and more critical role in how you feel, how you function, and how you connect with others after menopause. I will never forget a woman named Frances. She was 67 years old when she first walked into my office with a sense of quiet but palpable frustration. "Dr. Stones," she said, "I feel like someone's turned the volume down on my life." She was not clinically sick, and she was not depressed. She just did not feel present in her own life anymore. Her inner spark, as she described it, had dimmed. We meticulously reviewed her daily routine, her sleep, her nutrition, and her activity levels. And one thing kept standing out: she was not drinking much water. She had absolutely no idea how her state of chronic, mild dehydration was directly contributing to her brain fog, her low mood, and her discomfort during intimacy. After all, she reasoned, she was not thirsty. But the sensation of thirst is not always the best or most reliable indicator of your hydration needs, especially in older adults. According to the National Council on Aging, the physiological sensation of thirst actually diminishes as we age, even though our body still needs just as much, if not more, hydration to function optimally. Add to that a naturally slower metabolism and the significant hormonal shifts of this life stage, and it becomes abundantly clear that staying hydrated must become a conscious and intentional act, not a passive one. When Frances began the simple practice of sipping room temperature water throughout her day, starting with a full glass first thing in the morning and continuing steadily through the evening, something truly beautiful happened. Her mornings became easier. Her thoughts felt sharper and clearer. Her physical comfort during intimacy returned, and that precious spark she thought was gone forever. it was back. Stones, she told me. I didn't realize how far away I had drifted until I finally came back to myself. This is precisely why hydration matters so much more as you age. It is not because your body is failing you, but because it is asking for your support. And it is asking quietly, often in ways that we tend to overlook: dry skin, persistent fatigue, difficulty concentrating, or that general sense that your body just does not respond in the way that it used to. But here is the wonderfully uplifting part. Small, consistent daily changes, like learning to drink water the right way, can help to effectively reverse those signs. And there is one more simple tool that I often recommend to my patients: a 7-second morning habit that works beautifully alongside a good hydration strategy. I call it the reset breath. It is a simple pelvic floor breathing technique that is rooted in both the principles of physical therapy and the science of nitric oxide, a molecule that your body produces naturally and which plays a critical role in your circulation. Here is how it works. In the morning, before you reach for your phone or start your to-do list, take a moment to sit quietly at the edge of your bed. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, allowing your lower belly and your entire pelvic floor to gently and naturally expand. Hold that breath for just a second. Then, exhale slowly and completely through your mouth, letting your body relax fully and deeply. This single, intentional breath takes only about 7 seconds to complete, but its positive effects can ripple throughout your entire day. Why is this so powerful? Because that one deep, diaphragmatic breath activates your parasympathetic nervous system, what we often call the rest and restore mode. It signals a profound sense of safety to your body, which in turn reduces the production of cortisol and boosts your natural nitric oxide levels. And nitric oxide, according to numerous studies published in esteemed publications like the Journal of Sexual Medicine, is absolutely vital for promoting healthy blood flow, particularly to the pelvic region. One of my patients, Gloria, aged 71, tried this simple daily breath. She had already been diligently hydrating, eating clean, and walking every day, but she felt that something was still missing. 2 weeks into this new breathing practice, she smiled and said, "Dr. Stones, it's like the lights finally came back on." Her energy lifted, her confidence returned, and her body began responding more fully and joyfully, both during moments of intimacy and in her everyday life. She felt like herself again. Not because of a prescription, but because she finally gave her body what it had been quietly and patiently asking for all along. When you combine this 7-second breath with consistent, mindful hydration, you are doing more than just addressing a few symptoms. You are actively giving your body the optimal conditions it needs to thrive. It is not magic, it is biology. And more importantly, it is your biology working in the magnificent way it was always meant to. So, if you have been feeling like something is missing from your life, I encourage you to try this powerful pairing for just 2 weeks. Keep a glass of water nearby throughout the day. Sip slowly. Sit down while you drink. Choose room temperature water whenever you can, and begin each and every morning with one single, intentional breath that centers you and activates your body's natural, vibrant flow. Because as women, especially after menopause, we do not just need hydration, we need alignment. When our breath, our movement, and our nourishment are all in sync, the body remembers how to feel safe, open, and wonderfully alive again. And that is when true vitality begins to return. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. But for those of you who are asking, what does this actually look like day to day? I have developed a simple, realistic routine that can fit into any lifestyle. In part 4, I will walk you through an easy-to-follow daily hydration plan that works with your body, not against it. We will break down the what, the when, and the how, so that you can start seeing tangible results in your energy, your clarity, and your intimacy in as little as 1 week. So, how do you take all of this valuable insight, the science, the stories, the strategy, and turn it into something that is both simple and sustainable? Something you can do every single day without any sense of pressure or guesswork. Let me show you a gentle, realistic hydration routine that is designed specifically for the unique needs of women over 60. It does not require any special supplements or rigid, complicated schedules. All it requires is your willingness to tune into your own body, to drink with purpose, and to trust in the profound power of consistency. I am thinking of Rosemary, one of my longtime patients. She is 66, a retired artist, warm and highly intuitive. When she first came to see me, she was feeling foggy, drained, and deeply disconnected from her own body. She had tried everything from energy drinks and multivitamins to even hormone creams, but nothing really helped. "I just want to feel clear again," she told me, her voice heavy with fatigue. So, we went back to the very foundation: hydration. Here is the daily routine I gave to her, one that I have refined after working with hundreds of women just like her. First thing in the morning, within 30 minutes of waking, drink a full glass of room temperature water. No ice and no rushing. Sit down, take a deep breath, and sip it slowly. This simple act helps to rehydrate your body after a long night of sleep and gently jumpstarts your digestion and your circulation for the day ahead. Mid-morning, around 10:00 a.m., have another glass of water. This time, you can add a small pinch of unrefined sea salt or a fresh squeeze of lemon. Both of these additions help to replenish essential trace minerals and can improve your body's cellular hydration. Around lunchtime, drink 1 to 2 glasses of water, but try not to drink large amounts during your actual meal. Sipping too much water while you are eating can dilute your natural digestive enzymes. Instead, drink just before your meal or shortly after, and always take your time. In the afternoon, between 300 and 400 p.m., when your energy levels often tend to dip, drink another glass of water. Skip the extra cup of coffee and reach for water instead. If you like, you can pair it with a protein-rich snack like a handful of almonds or a boiled egg. This combination supports both your energy and your hormones without the inevitable crash that comes with caffeine or sugar. In the evening, have one final glass of water with or just after your dinner. But try to stop drinking at least 60 to 90 minutes before you go to bed so that you can sleep soundly without needing to get up in the middle of the night. That is it. Just 5 to 6 glasses of water, spaced intentionally throughout your day, consumed at the right temperature, and sipped mindfully. For Rosemary, it was a complete revelation. After just 3 weeks of following this simple, gentle rhythm, she felt lighter, mentally clearer, and more profoundly connected to herself. But what surprised her the most was not her sharper mind or her newfound steady energy. It was the return of both physical comfort and genuine desire during her moments of intimacy. She said to me, "It's like my body remembered how to feel again." And that is not an isolated case. Time and time again, I have seen women completely restore their sense of vitality simply by getting the basics right. When you hydrate your body properly, you are actively supporting healthy blood flow to the pelvic region, natural and comfortable lubrication, balanced and efficient hormone function, sharp mental clarity and focus, sustained and reliable daily energy, a deep and loving emotional connection to your own body. And when you pair that consistent hydration practice with the 7-second morning breath that we discussed in part 3, you create the perfect internal environment for your own unique biology to begin to thrive again. You see, it is not about achieving perfection. It is about cultivating a state of presence with your breath, with your body, and with each and every glass of water. Hydration is not just about quenching your thirst. It is about reconnecting with your own fundamental needs, something that many women have been taught for decades to ignore. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one essential truth. Your body wants to heal. It wants to feel alive. It simply needs you to create the right environment for it to do so. And you have far more control over that environment than you have ever been led to believe. For more than 30 years, I have had the incredible honor of sitting across from women just like you. Women who felt that their best days were long behind them. Women who thought that their inner spark had been extinguished forever. But I have seen what happens when they make a conscious commitment to the small, simple things like breathing with intention and drinking water with care. You do not need to buy more products. You do not need a prescription to feel at home and comfortable in your own body again. What you need is consistency, compassion, and the unwavering belief that your body is still listening and is absolutely ready to respond. We have talked today about how proper hydration supports your sexual health and your overall vitality. We have covered how even mild dehydration can limit your blood flow, disrupt your hormones, and dull your desire. We have explored a realistic step-by-step daily routine and a simple breath that can open the door to greater comfort, pleasure, and clarity. But most of all, I hope that you have heard this. You are not past your prime. You are not invisible. And you are certainly not done. Every single sip of water you take is a powerful message to your body. It says, I care, I'm here, I'm ready. And your body will answer. Maybe not overnight, but surely, quietly, and faithfully. So, I invite you to start today. Drink with purpose, breathe with presence, and honor your body as the miraculous, responsive, and resilient home that it truly is. Stay hydrated, stay present, and above all, stay vibrant. If something in today's message resonated deeply with you, I would be honored to hear about it. What part of our conversation spoke to you the most? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you found this information to be helpful, please subscribe to our channel or share this video with a sister, a friend, or a loved one who also deserves to feel her absolute best. Your journey toward better health begins with simple, powerful steps, and I am so honored to be able to take them with you.